Hyper-realistic shooters with cutting-edge graphics are great and all, but have you ever wanted an FPS that looks like a cartoon from the 1930s? Well, somebody made one.
Here to tell us about Mouse PI for Hire, we're joined by game director Mateusz Michalak.
Yes.
Is that right?
Right.
And lead producer Maciej Krzemien. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, first of all, for someone who is seeing this game for the first time, tell us what we're looking at. What is Mouse PI for Hire?
So basically, it's a blend of all that we love in FPS games. So we are focused on the key elements that make FPS games fun. So the gunplay is very important, but on the other hand, we're going to add some other elements from Metroidvania games, for example. So some upgrades, ability to backtrack and access previously inaccessible areas. So yeah, it's a blend of everything we love in a game, not exactly a boomer shooter, rather something that feels both familiar and fresh at the same time.
I feel like this is way older than boomers. This is like the
grand boomers.
Couple generations earlier than them. Now, the Metroidvania aspect, we were talking about this before we started recording, but you've got sort of a grappling hook. Is that his tail?
Yes, that's his tail, actually.
Okay. Can we talk about sort of how the levels are structured? Is it kind of different little arenas, corridors, or open world, or how's it?
So it's a blend of all. So some levels will be rather linear, others will be more branching, and yeah, we're experimenting with different styles of level design because we want the game not to get repetitive during as you progress. Yeah.
And what sparked the initial idea for Mouse? Like, are you big fans of 1930s cartoons? Where did the idea come from?
So yeah, the idea was actually, it's quite funny because a BioShock fan art drawn in a rubber hose art style was found online many years ago by our art director, and he did like BioShock. He does love rubber hose animation style. So he approached Mateusz a couple of years ago and said, hey, why don't we make a game out of this? And Mateusz loved the idea, so banded with just a couple of people. They started working on a prototype, and yeah, basically that's how Mouse was born.
The prototype went pretty viral. Like, people were immediately really attracted to this. And since that was released, you've clearly gone back and tweaked some stuff. Can you sort of point out some of the changes that have been made since that early footage showed up?
Yeah, I believe that the most crucial change is 3D environments. We put a lot of effort to meld the 2D animation with 3D environments. It's quite hard to do it. We believe that we achieved nice goal, and from there, we are proceeding and working more about more levels.
Yeah, you may see that we have improved on the 2D animations, but yeah, the 3D is the biggest change so far, especially if you take a look, at our materials from a couple of months ago, because it took us a lot of experiments, given the fact that the game is entirely black and white. So we had to make sure that everything is clear to the player, that the players know what's interactable, what's not, and based on that, we decided what can stay in 3D, in 2D, what can be 3D, and we had to find the perfect blend of everything of that.
Are there any details, like in the animation, in the environments, that you're especially proud of?
Weapons rollings, we really like them. We're really proud of them. There are a lot of them. Right now we showed only few weapons, but there will be much more in the final release.
Yeah, and I have to say that I quite like our enemy death animations because they're over the top, really exaggerated. So yeah, I really love those.
Awesome.
Was there ever a version of this that was in color, or was it always black and white from day one? It was always black and white from day one.
Always.
Can we talk about any other abilities in addition to, so we've got this grapple with the tail, and obviously a lot of guns. Will we be doing anything else? Any other skills, abilities?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, some Metroidvania elements here and there, so you will be able, you will unlock some abilities as you progress. So the grappling hook for one thing, but the helicopter, that is also used by the protagonist as his tail over his head. Double jump, so some genre staples like that. We don't want to, spoil everything just now, but you can expect many different options to be unlocked as you go.
Cool.
I'm so into this game. I really love what you guys are doing here. Were there any specific, actual old cartoons that were huge influences on this? Did you kind of come across any hidden gems or anything like that?
Yeah, we have a stack of reference from the 1930s, 1940s. We watch all the shows, Popeye shows till today, all the episodes. There are a lot of them. Old cartoons made by
like Betty Boop, Felix
Yeah.
the Cat, stuff like this. Basically, whatever fits into Rubber Hose category, we always take a look. Either if it's an animation, a comic book, we want to explore that, take a thorough look, and get some inspirations for that. So there's like a huge stack of materials in our office.
Now, obviously, this is a very different game, a very different genre to Cuphead, but I feel like seeing the rubber hose animation, maybe some people are having like traumatic flashbacks to like the punishing difficulty of Cuphead. Where are you pitching the difficulty for Mouse PI for hire?
So first of all, we are aiming to make the game as accessible to a wide audience as possible. So it will feature a couple of different difficulty modes. So if you want an easier experience and you want to, be focused on the story just like that, you can do that. And the game should be a breeze on easy. But if you're looking for a serious challenge, yes, we will provide that as well. And trust me, I've been playing the game on, harder settings just recently, and it's punishingly difficult. So yeah, basically, the choice is yours.
Nice.
I love it. Now let's talk a little bit about the lore and the setting. Who are we playing as? Who is this titular mouse?
Yeah, so our protagonist, his name's Jack Pepper. He's a World War I trench veteran who went back home, and first he became a cop, and after that he turned to be a private investigator. And it's a noir story, so Jack tends to usually find himself in a heap of trouble. But this time it's bigger than usual. It's a pretty sticky fondue of celebrities, mobsters, dirty politicians, and a conspiracy aimed at taking over the US. So yeah, it's going to be a big adventure.
Yeah, we also have a second character named Tammy. Tammy is not a playable character, but is really important for the story. She's a young mice orphaned as a child whose mother Jack knew. While she's not participate in investigation or gunfights, she makes Jack work much easier. As she's great with everything mechanical, she's upgrading weapons, inventing new gadgets, upgrading the old ones. She can it all.
She can do it all as long as you don't ask her to make some coffee,
Yeah.
right?
Fair enough. So how does that progression work? Like, how do you upgrade weapons? Like, what's the progression scheme like?
So along the way, you will find some NPCs offering you some side quests, side challenges, and you will get some in-game currency, or you will get some key items that can be used either to be traded for some upgrades done by Tammy, or to give them to the items to Tammy so she can fashion something out of them, because Tammy is the kind of character that always comes up with new ideas to create some new gadgets to make Jack's work easier. So some of this stuff is mandatory, like some of this stuff will be put on the main path of the game, but some of this stuff will be optional. So players who will want to dwell more into the game's world, who will want to immerse themselves more, will be rewarded in a meaningful way.
Now I'm curious. Sorry, I'm just spacing out here. Like the weapons, do they have alternate fire or anything like that?
They do.
Yeah,
They do.
They do.
Can we talk about how big this arsenal might be?
It's more than 10.
More than 10?
That's what I can say
I'll
at
take
this
that.
point.
I'm into
Because
that.
what we have showcased so far, these were just, I'd say, regular weapons, stuff that you expect to be present in an FPS game. But we have a couple of cool weapons, still to be shown. A couple of experimental, cartoonish weapons, if you will. I don't want to spoil much, but you will be surprised by the full arsenal.
Nice. Now, when can we expect to get our hands on it? Are you any plans for Steam Early Access, console release window, anything like that?
We can't reveal anything right now.
Yeah, we cannot reveal much
can't.
at this point, but basically everything is in talks right now, and
Yeah.
the idea of providing a hands-on demo for the public is always tempting, but we also want to make sure that it's fully polished, it's perfect. So not yet, but keep an eye out.
Well, we are dying to see more. As a very wise cartoon character once said, that is all, folks. Mouse PI Fihar is out sometime in the future, but you can wishlist it on Steam right now.
We have lots more cool stuff on the way from the Gamescom studio, so please stick around.